Let me go to another place. This is a chapter that's called "What is Jesus Doing?" What a great question! And I want to read a quote and have you comment on it. I've counseled many parents who say, "I don't understand what God is doing. Why would God bring me this pain? Why would he treat me this way? This makes it really hard for me to trust him." What does Luke say to that experience?
I'm trying to think what passage I was in then.
This is Luke 2.
And this is when Jesus is 12
Yeah.
at the temple.
Yeah.
And that we're familiar with that story. They've traveled to Jerusalem. Mary and Joseph are on their way home. They assume that Jesus is on his way to their home with the caravan, and they can't find him. He's been gone several days. And they go back, search the city. They finally find him at home in his father's house in the temple, answering these questions. And they say to him the very same thing we would say to our own children. "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he said, "Don't you know that I need to be about my Father's business?" And what a rebuke to say, to receive as his parents, to say, "I'm about my Father's business. I have another parent." And that's what he's always about. That's what he is always about. He did not come to do his own will, but the will of the one who sent him. He only says what he sees the Father, hears the Father saying. He only does what he sees the Father doing. He is entirely devoted to doing the Father's will. And the Father's will is to save us. And so it's Mary and Joseph had the experience, and we have the experience throughout our lives of going, why are you doing this? You know, if you didn't want us to have children, why have us be pregnant and then lose a baby?
Yeah.
What is the sense in this? And we can't answer that question with much specificity. We can answer it in big theological terms, but we often just don't know. Sometimes in our suffering, we get to look back a decade or 5 later and say, "Oh, I see a little bit of what God was doing in that." But we can be confident that Christ is always doing his Father's will.
Yeah. So again, it's such an important point to make, that God doesn't give us answers in those moments.
No.
That, as I often repeat, God's secret will is called a secret will because it's secret. But he gives us something better than answers. He gives us himself. And in that gift, I get everything I need in these moments. And so, because we're in the image of God and we're made to be rational human beings, it's not evil to want answers.
No.
But it's important to understand that your rest will never be found in understanding, because there are things that you won't understand. Your rest is found in trusting the one who understands all of those things and is with you by grace. So the one who's with me knows and understands. He's got no mystery. He's got no confusion. There's nothing that has confounded him. He knows exactly what he's doing, why he's doing it.
Yeah.
And it's the Father's goodwill.